Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you guys an update on how it's going since we downsized our home. So if you are new to my channel, we are a family of 7. We have 5 children that are ages 7, 6, 4, almost 3, and 1.5. We recently moved 3 months ago almost from a house that was about 2,200 square feet to a house that was 1,700 square feet. We moved from a 2-story house to a 1-story home. I'll have a lot of videos. I will link a playlist up above about our new house. Okay, so I wanted to give a little update on how it's going as far as unpacking goes. There are still boxes that we haven't unpacked. For the most part, a lot of our main unpacking that still needs to be done is for my husband's garage. We have to build him a shop and we hope to start that in the spring, and that is going to clear up most of our basement because most of the shop that needs to be set up is going to be built from all of the things that are in the basement. So there's a lot of tools, a lot of equipment, a lot of things that need to be moved, and car parts and full vehicles down in my basement that are taken apart. There's a lot of stuff down there. As far as how the unpacking has gone, we didn't have too many casualties. It was a successful move for the most part. I think so far, the only things that we have lost, like truly have not found in 3 months, was my oldest son's dirt bike helmet, which kind of stinks because that's sort of an important thing. We're guessing it was probably left outside at the old house, and the new owners never let us know that they found it, and it just hasn't been found yet. As far as setting up the new home, we have been here for almost 3 months now, and we are starting to really make this place our home. I've started to hang a couple things on the wall, and I've painted one of the bathrooms, and I'm slowly starting to figure out what kind of organizational things we need. I put an organizational system in my closet and hung up a bar in my son's room, and things like that are slowly starting to happen. I've got some projects that I'm working on right now. I am building this big coat hook area by our front door so that we have kind of a makeshift mudroom. The house that we had a big walk-in mudroom. There was a mudroom and a laundry room that you walked into before you walked into the house, and it was the perfect place to take off your shoes and store your coats and all this other stuff, and we don't have that here. And so I'm trying to create that type of a situation here. As far as setting up things, I'm figuring out where I want things in the kitchen and all of those kind of things. It's kind of a weird situation because the layout in my kitchen is very similar to my old house. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen the pictures of my new kitchen, and it really tripped a couple of people up because they're like, wait, did you remodel? Why does it look so different? But the same. It's a very similar layout. So it's been interesting because I have so much muscle memory from living at my old house for almost 10 years, and putting things away and where I put them, it's very similar. I ended up putting things in a very similar way, and the cupboards are a little different because they're not as deep. So the fit of things is a little different. I also have a big pantry down in my basement, which is wonderful. And I'm learning how to use a pantry in the basement, and I've never had that before. So there's little nuances that I'm learning how to do. Another strange thing is my muscle memory. We have sliding glass doors that walk out to our deck here as the same that we had at our old house. And the sliding glass doors are slightly narrower. And again, my muscle memory for cleaning the sliding glass doors, I can tell that this door is narrower because as I'm washing it and wiping this way and that, my hand accidentally hits with full force because the door is slightly narrower. So it's very strange because there are so many similarities with the layout and the parts of the house and the way that the kitchen is and stuff. But as far as that goes, it made the transition and setup very easy because we could put things basically away where we've already concluded that they go, and it's basically the same in our new house. As far as our children's rooms go, we have a girls' room and a boys' room, and we have not painted those yet. Financially, I just don't have the cash to do that yet, and we're slowly working towards that. And plus, we've only been here for 3 months, and so there just really hasn't been time. I'm kind of trying to get a feel for maybe the color scheme and the types of colors I'd like to have in this house. Thankfully, we have white trim and white windows, and we didn't have that before, and I really hated that about my house before. And so the color palette that I can pick has opened up so much. With my yellowish, orangish trim that I used to have, it really limited what colors I could put on the walls because it would just clash with the trim. So coming up with color schemes and things like that are kind of things that I'm getting, it's exciting and I'm getting to do in this house too. We're still figuring out, you know, daily schedules. I came up with a new schedule being home all the time, and plus now moving closer to all of our community. I spend a lot more time at home than I used to. I used to spend a lot of time driving every single week to all of the things that we did, and now we're so much closer, so there's way less driving time, which means there's way more time at home. Because of that, I need to be much more intentional about my time in order to get all the things done. And I actually came up with like a alarm system that I started doing on my phone. If you're interested in seeing something like that, I'd be happy to share. So just leave me a comment down below if you do want to see that. But things like that, the daily schedules, the chores, figuring out who can do what, that kind of thing, that's sort of what we're still figuring out as we go. I would say the biggest improvement and the biggest change has been the quality time that we've gotten as a family, and that was our intent in moving. We wanted to move closer to our community where our church was, and to be able to do that meant that we spent less time driving, which we had no idea what the fruit of that would be, and really it has bought us so much more time to spend as a family. We can eat dinner together at the table, which we didn't really have time to do before. We had to sort of grab dinner on the run before, and now I can cook at home and we have the time to sit together and eat before we leave, which is incredible. And so we spend a lot more time at the dinner table, and then we spend a lot more time, now that my husband is not outside cutting wood or doing outside chores, maintaining the house and all the things like that we had at our old house, there's a lot more family time. Like in our day now, I've been able to schedule in family Bible time, and we've never really had time for that before, and it's incredible to have that time. The other biggest change that we have had, and has been such a wonderful blessing, is the family time for my husband and myself. At our old house, we had a 2-story house, and if my husband was in the house in the evening, he was usually downstairs. So at our old house, it was just our bedrooms upstairs and then 2 bathrooms. And then the whole rest of the house was downstairs. So if my husband was doing anything, it was downstairs. And with the ages of our children and how close they are in age, every single night, I basically have to guard their bedroom doors to make sure that they don't come out and just don't go to bed. So I would spend every single night sitting upstairs in the hallway or in one of their bedrooms, rocking the babies to sleep, and then basically guarding until the children fell asleep. And so then by the time that the kids fell asleep, it might be like 8:30, 9:30, and I'm up there and I'm exhausted because I've been doing this for an hour, and there wasn't a way for me to carry my sleeping baby that I had rocked to sleep downstairs. Because our children sleep with us, it was not possible for me to set my babies down in that season of life and they would wake up. So now what has happened with the way that we parent and the way that I put my children to sleep, I'm able to sit there and rock my baby to sleep, and my 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old, can fall asleep on the couch next to us, and then my husband and I can sit there and visit. And almost every single night we have enough time to sit there and talk to each other, and we can talk through scripture, and we can talk through, you know, what we watched that day or what we listened to that day or what happened with the kids that day. And up until this point, there was never time for that, because in our old house, my husband didn't have time to, first of all, sit down and talk to me in the evening. And also there wasn't actually a place that we could do that. Like if my husband had done that in the old house, we would have woke up the kids. But now I can have the baby sleeping on me and the other toddler laying next to me, and they're asleep, and then my husband's sitting in the chair across from me in the living room, and we can sit there and chat. And it is just, it has been such a change for our marriage. The connection, the communion, all of it. Like our relationship has just benefited so much from this, and I hoped and thought that it would, but it has exceeded anything I could have hoped for. So I would say that's the biggest change about our family life. And now that I'm guarding, I can still guard my children's bedrooms right now as it is, but I'm guarding from the end of the hallway. So very soon I am able to set my baby down, and she's 1.5 years. And so I can lay her down in bed, and I can go out and I can finish chores, and I can get out of bed before her in the morning, and I am not a floor away from her, and there's not the stairs to worry about when the baby gets out of bed or all of those things. Like we've just hit a completely different season of life that we have never experienced before as a family. And it's really incredible. It's really incredible, and I'm so grateful for it. So really, I'd say that's the biggest update. That's the best update I can do. It's been wonderful. I'm so glad that we moved. I think it's been great for our family. The neighborhood is great. We love our neighbors. We love where we live. We love the location. We love our house. We love our yard. It has been just such a gift and such a great thing for our family. And I'm so glad. I'm so thankful for it. So if you guys have any questions about our new house or how it's going, or if you want to see that video where I'm kind of made a really crazy schedule with a bunch of alarms on my phone, leave me a comment down below. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again real soon. Bye guys.